Good morning, campers. We have another beautiful day here in Quebec, Canada. In this episode, we are going to do the usual, that is, camp up north, harvest some spruce for my spruce beer production, but it's August, so we're also going to harvest some blueberries, some Labrador tea, and anything else we can find, perhaps some mushroom. Come along. If you watched the last episode, you're probably wondering what happened to my beloved Cherokee. Good news, I still have it. The bad news is, half of you told me I should fix it, and the other half of you told me I should buy a new truck. So I had to work extra hard to make all of you equally mad. And voila, I bought a Jeep Liberty. But wait, it gets worse. This one is a diesel. If you've never owned one of these, here's a piece of advice. Just don't ever get one. And if you do own a diesel Liberty, how's that 25 miles per gallon on 31s treating you? Oh, and how is that blown head gasket? Anyway, let's get going. We got 4 hours of driving ahead of us. Now, for all of you who wonder why I got this rig, here's why. Obviously, I use it for towing, but I also use it for deliveries. I use it on logging roads. Also, my parking at home and at work are very small, but mostly I'm broke. I need something cheap. Just don't look at that temp gauge. It's a Jeep thing you wouldn't understand. So that's it. A small, cheap, good for towing, 25 mile per gallon, true 4x4 that nobody will cry over when I drive it on dirt roads. Let's get on with this adventure. After a couple hours on logging roads, we're finally arriving at my usual campsite. You might recognize it from previous video. So I did go to my usual camping spot, but at this time of the year I noticed that there's still a lot of fishermen and campers and all of that, and this is the nicest little beach around, so there's always people moving in and out, launching boat and stuff. It gets very annoying after a while, so we're gonna try something different this time. Considering many of the boat launches in this area don't have a nice little beach, we're gonna have to get creative. Last time I was here, the trail was a little overgrown. Let's see what it looks like today. Oh my. And that's another reason why I like to have an old, cheap Jeep. This is my favorite way of figuring out if you have a good campsite in Canada. You basically stay in the spot for a good 10 minutes and see how many bugs attack you. If you can handle it, it's a good campsite. If you're going nuts, not a good campsite. Fairly simple. Oh, here's not too bad. It's a pretty tight trail. It's really for a quad. But hey, why have a tiny trailer if you can't use it? First order of things is harvesting these bad boys so I don't drive over them. Lobster mushroom. They don't look too bad. These are usually worm infested. Okay, you're supposed to have a knife, but I didn't expect to find these here, so all I have is my axe. They're not infested. Maybe one right here. Looks pretty good. I got a few. Actually not too bad. Yeah, these are nice. Okay, so we're gonna move up the trail and go camp at the end. It's about a half a mile that way. This trail is definitely going more narrow the more we go. There is way too many weird noises in that section. I don't like it. I'm actually scared for my axle on the trailer. It's really low. It's hanging really low. Let's see if I need the chainsaw or if this thing is really dead. Yep, it's been there for a while. Over here, I'm actually trying to drive over the top of the rut, but I keep sliding back down in the hole. That's not good for my trailer. Oops. Luckily, there's no rocks out here. It's mostly moss and soft topsoil. Oh wow, it appears I picked up a following. Oh man, I love editing these backing up scenes. Makes me look like a professional driver. Took me a while to edit it. It took me a while to edit it. The next morning I woke up to a heavy rain. For now, it's going to be coffee. But eventually, it did stop raining, and I was finally able to go out foraging. But like usual, I got sidetracked. This is literally like a mile from where I'm camping, and the bottom is wet and the top is dry. This bad boy walked here this morning. The fun part about driving around after a heavy rain is that you know that the tracks you find are fairly fresh. I just found some dinosaur tracks. Alright, to be fair, last year I heard some whooping crane around here. Canadian whooping crane. I'm guessing that's what it is. That's pretty freaking big. And here we have a big old moose track. Like I said earlier, damp at the bottom, dry on top. Probably tracked by in this mud this morning. And you have the two, I can't remember how those are called, but that means it was a really fat, heavy individual. And it also means it's a male or a female. I can't remember which one of the two have these dots. That's a fat moose. For some reason, beavers always do their dam on the wrong side of the road. I drove on this road 3 days ago. They built this dam in 2 or 3 days, and over there there's about 1.5 feet, almost 2 feet of water. That's a lot of work. That is a lot of work, boys, to be on the wrong side of the road. Let's go the other way. Big hoof, small hoof. That's definitely a moose. Judging by that, I guess the tracks with the dimples would be the male, since now we have a large female and a cub. And more wolf's track. And I'm going the bush right here. Very inviting. For those who are curious, I just got this blueberry picking kit. This is the classic bear claw blueberry picker from Lac-Saint-Jean, Saguenay area of Quebec. There is a lot of blueberry over there. I've never used one of those, so if you're from Lac-Saint-Jean, bear with me, I'm gonna suck at it. But for everyone else, this looks like pretty hardcore. They make lefties and righties on these one, and they make long handle and short handle. This is a short handle, and this is the bucket. You just scoop it in. I first assumed that you would just rake them like that, but you get a bunch of dead leaves and stuff, which is not preferable, I guess. So I'm just gonna try to tickle them from underneath and see what happens. Let's do it. Time myself how much I can harvest in an hour. First scoop, yay! So I did that little patch here in about 15 minutes, and here's what I got. That's about 45 minutes. Of work. To be fair, that was a pretty crappy spot. I mean, the blueberries were nice, there was just far in between. But hey, we'll find a better spot for next year. All right, it's foraging time. We have our original Canadian bug shirt on, and we're ready to penetrate deep in the Canadian wilderness. Far, far away from civilization. Oh yeah, Campman is just right there. Well, anyway. Over here we have a classic boreal forest. Let's see what we can find that's edible. Okay, so we have a typical boreal black spruce forest. Underneath the classic, we have blueberries. There's blueberries all over. And we have, like this here, this is Labrador tea. The leaves have a peach fuzz underneath, and when they're white, they are the leaf of this year. And when they're yellow, those are last year's leaf. And these things are fairly slow growing, so you don't want to harvest all of the leaf. You want to keep them alive. You can see, since they're fairly slow growing, when they are this big, about 2 to 3 feet long, I don't know, maybe that little thingy is 20 years old or something. Anyway, I'm not a specialist. Do not mistake them for this other very similar looking plant, but this one does not have the peach fuzz underneath, and I believe this one is toxic, so be careful. These little leaf are called petit thé. I'm not sure in English what it is, but it's in reference to wintergreen, and these taste like wintergreen basically. These have little white fruit looking like a Tic Tac, so if I just start playing around, I should find some somewhere. Yep, there you go. And that's a berry, and it's not a Tic Tac. I'm not sure if it's edible, but the leaves are. And there should be more. Here's one right here. I don't know if you can find it and see it. There you go. You know, so you don't think I'm hiding Tic Tacs in the forest and pretending. Okay, so what's the point of harvesting Labrador tea? It's a plant that's been used by the natives for a long time, still today, and it's green all winter, so you can use it all winter, but also it's renowned to give you a little pep and happiness. So I don't know what's in it, but it's making you happy. But you have to harvest the white part like this and not the yellow part. So we're going to take a few leaves, and we're not going to kill it all. We're just going to take half, let's say. But honestly, all of this is Labrador tea, so even if you step on one and kill it, it's not the end of the world. These little red berries are supposed to be edible as well, but there's no way I'm going to try it alone in the forest. I might bring a few samples back home to double check, cross-reference. I think there's more of them than there's blueberries, to be honest. Remember this trio? Labrador tea, blueberry, and black spruce, as far as you can see. Just a look at the size of these suckers. They're almost as big as my pinky. I think I was harvesting in the wrong area before. There's blueberry all over. They're less dense, but they're probably a lot easier to pick. So this is our harvest in order. First we have this little plant. I have to research the name in English. It's a sample. I'll see in town what I can do with that. Then we have petit thé. That's also just for fun. I'll probably make a tea with it tonight. And that tastes like toothpaste. Then we have about, I don't know, 15 grams of Labrador tea. This is really, really light. This is to do a beverage test. And then we have about 4 pounds of blueberry that took me about an hour to harvest with my sweet ass bear paw blueberry comb. And I have 180 pounds of mixed spruce and balsam fir. I have white spruce, black spruce, and balsam fir in here. So I obviously came for this. This is side fun. And I'm gonna try, because I make spruce beer, I'm gonna try a spruce beer with black spruce, Labrador tea, and blueberry for sugar content. Because, as you saw, they all grow together, and I think it's awesome. I'm not gonna call it a spruce beer. I'll probably call it a Nordic beer or something like that. And that's pretty much it. We're gonna pack up and leave this awesome place. We've been here for a week and it's time to go. Thank you for spending this moment with me, and we'll see you in the next one.